Today we are reviewing SummerSlam 2026 Night 2. I am not gonna lie, off the rip, I like Night 2 more than Night 1. I'm not gonna cap. So, first things first, we're gonna go over Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn, which then turned into a fatal four-way with Gunther and the return of Kevin freaking Owens. Dog. I'm like, okay, look. I seen the posts on Twitter and all social media, all that good stuff. That was talking about Kevin Owens is set to return to WWE real soon. I really hate that they do that. I hate that they do that. I'm not gonna lie. Can we please have surprises in WWE once again? Like, dude, dude, this is really something that could have been kept completely secret. This is something that really could have been a huge surprise for real. Something that really could have been like, oh, like, if nobody said a peep, there was no words, there was no hush hush, there was no reports, no da 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 whoop de whoop, whatever the case may be. There was complete silence, and it was just unexpected like that. Dude, you know how even more massive the pop would have been. And pop was still huge regardless. I mean, it's like at the end of the day, like I just wish that we had surprises in WWE games. It's like we don't get surprised no more. We're just spoiled about it 2 days beforehand. Then it happens, and then we're excited, but at the same time, it's like, I mean, well, they did literally fucking tell you the exact shit would happen 2 days prior. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just wish that we would have surprises again. But either way, regardless, I'm so glad that KO was back. Kevin Owens was definitely missed. I'm glad he's back. Glad he's back in action. He ended up winning the match. The Fatal 4-Way was a banger. Not gonna lie. The only thing that I would say about it is that I do wish it was a little longer. It did feel a little, you know what I'm saying, a little short. It wasn't short, but it was a little short. I feel like it definitely could have went on longer. You know what I'm saying? I would honestly rate it a good 8 out of 10, straight up, a good 8 out of 10. Um, the whole because we anticipated Finn Balor versus Sami Zayn 1-on-1 for the number one contender spot for the Undisputed Championship. And then it turned into a triple threat. And then it turned into a fatal four-way. So honestly, that really bumps it up a lot. So glad KO was back. Can't wait to see KO versus CM Punk. I'm definitely excited for that. But yeah, honestly, like I said, my only complaint is outside of the match, really. Like I said, where, they kind of literally just fucking spoiled his return. And the only real complaint I have about the match itself is that it was just maybe a little short. But regardless, it was a solid match, great return for KO. Glad to see him back, and I'm excited to see what they do for him in the future because I know they're gonna do that man right. They have to. All right, so the next match, this match was ass. I didn't fucking like this match. Listen, first off, let me tell you something. The next match, well, maybe I won't say it was ass, but it was like, you have to understand, right? This next match, Trick Williams versus Baron Corbin for the United States Championship. I hated it going into SummerSlam because Baron Corbin had no business being being Trick's opponent at SummerSlam. This should have, by all rights and means, been Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship. There is no reason whatsoever that Baron Corbin should have just returned, thrown himself into the match at the very last minute, literally like 2 weeks ago, and then all of a sudden he's the new United States fucking champion. He was literally thrown into this shit. The entire build-up has been Trick and Carmelo. Trick and Melo, that was the whole build. That was the build. There was no build with Baron and Trick. Baron Corbin fucking returned on a random-ass SmackDown. And then on the next SmackDown, where Melo wasn't even present, Trick was like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to challenge you to the da-da-da-da or something. I don't know what he said, because honestly, I didn't see it. And then SmackDown that just passed, I didn't even watch that, so I have no idea. I'm like, dude, Baron, there was no build for this. Nobody wanted this match. Nobody was excited for it. Nobody was anticipating this because it was literally thrown out of nowhere just so you wouldn't have Carmelo on the fucking card, and that shit pisses me off. Deadass. It pisses me off because they literally made this match just so they couldn't have Carmelo on the card. And you cannot convince me otherwise. You cannot sit there and convince me that they did not make this match for the sole purpose of not having Carmelo on the SummerSlam card. Because I know that they did. Because what the fuck was the point of it? So what? Melo could take it off of Baron? I don't give a fuck about it. You know what? 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. This match was mid as hell. Like literally, the match itself was honestly mid. It was not the greatest match of the night. It was honestly kind of. It made me want to turn my TV off. Damn near. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't a good match. There was zero build because Baron literally just came out of fucking nowhere. They snubbed the shit out of Melo. Then I'm honestly irritated by the entire match even fucking existing. That should have been Melo's moment. I Yeah, 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. I'm moving the fuck on. That was horrible fucking awful. God, honestly, giving it a 5 out of 10 is really me being fucking generous. Cause dead ass, I would rate that shit a straight up 2. Real shit. Like that, awful. Fucking terrible. I don't give a fuck. The next the next match was so much better. It was the women's ladder match for the interim women's championship between Tiffany Stratton, Chelsea Green, Lash Legend, Jade Cargill, and Charlotte Flair. And my girl Chelsea Green got the dub. Yes, sir. Let's go. Bro, Chelsea is legitimately one of, if not the most entertaining acts in the entire women's division. Hell, fuck that. The entire company right now. I'm so serious, bro. And niggas can hate. They can whine. They can cry. They can bitch. They can moan. I don't give a fuck. Chelsea Green deserve that shit. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Chelsea deserve that shit like a motherfucker, bro. Seriously. They finally put the belt on my girl. And even though she's only the interim champion because they're too afraid to just take it off of Rhea, even though, like, you're gonna have Rhea win the fucking belt back any damn ways. Why not just strip her entirely and have Chelsea literally be the women's champion? You're gonna have Rhea win it back anyways when she comes back. I don't get that shit. That shit pisses me off. But anyways, that's whatever. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the women's ladder match. It was a banger match. Honestly, it was solid. I love the fact I called it too. At the beginning of the match, I called it. I said, you know what they should do? They should have Chelsea throw Tiffany off of the ladder as a callback and then proceed to win as a callback to win 2024 Women's Money in the Bank. Tiffany and Chelsea were working together in the match, but then because they were both heels or whatever, and then, you know, Tiffany betrayed Chelsea kind of, not really because they weren't really like friends at the time, but you know, she threw Chelsea off the ladder onto like some tables, and then she won the Women's Money in the Bank. And then now Chelsea threw Tiffany, when they were actually partnered together this time, she threw Tiffany off the ladder into every other woman. And then it was a little longer, but she then proceeded to win. So I love that they did that little callback. I love when they do callbacks like that. It was great. It was fantastic. It was a wonderful winner. It was a wonderful moment. I'm happy for Chelsea. Hopefully they don't make her lose it next Friday if Rhea comes back and they're just like, okay, yeah, you had your 5 days of fame. Time to give it back to the real star. Because you know that's exactly what they would do. So I wouldn't really be surprised. But I'm glad she won regardless, even if it's only interim and it's not really the... Either way, yeah. Either way, though, 8.5 out of 10. Honestly, 8.5 out of 10. I fucking loved it. I liked it a lot. And honestly, I might be a little biased, but I don't give a damn. 8.5 out of 10. The next match was Dominic Mysterio versus Danhausen. This was really just a fun match. It was a fun little match, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't nothing crazy. It wasn't nothing spectacular. It was a fun little match. Some people might question having Dominic lose to Danhausen. I really don't mind Danhausen. I don't mind the goofy shit in wrestling. Wrestling has always been inherently goofy. I mean, let's be honest. Wrestling has always been inherently goofy. Like, you know, that just is what it is. Sometimes that's the fun of the shit. That's really the fun of the shit. But I don't think I would have had Dominic lose to Danhausen here at SummerSlam, to be honest with you. I probably would have put Dominic over. But I'm not mad that Danhausen won, really. I just hope that Dom moves on from Danhausen and he goes back to... Because, I mean, damn, like, there was a point in time I was rooting for Dominic to win the Money in the Bank. That ass. You know what I'm saying? I could see it. No, I'm not entirely sure. But, you know, I mean, still, I wouldn't necessarily say that they fumbled Dominic. But it was like, you know... But either way, though, it was a fun little match. It was a good little match. You had the run-ins with JD and the mini housings and the fucking Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry got on the SummerSlam card. Hey, that's good, right? So like I said, it was just a little fun, little solid match. I'll give it like a 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. It wasn't nothing too crazy, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't really, you know what I'm saying. It was straight. It was straight. I enjoyed it. The next match after that though was just a straight up banger. I'm not gonna cap. Penta versus Chad Gable. Definitely it's my second favorite match. I'm not gonna. Well, I don't know. It's really fighting for that number one spot because the technically, look, technicality wise, the match was straight 10 out of 10. Honestly, it was a fucking banger. Like seriously, it really was a banger. It really was a banger. Glad that Chad Gable won. He was the right winner to win. It was literally his hometown. His family was there. We've been building this for years. He definitely deserved to have that win. Penta was a hell of an Intercontinental Champion. I mean, seriously, he had probably had one of the best reigns of this whole year. And, yeah, he definitely had one of the best reigns of this entire year. And, I mean, he went crazy. His matches are some bangers, too. Penta put on some bangers for real. But, yeah, it was a really great match, really solid match, crazy spots. You know what I'm saying? Doing their finishers on the aprons and shit. It was crazy. But, Penta ended up tapping out the Chad. He ended up tapping out the Chad to give Chad the Intercontinental Championship. And, it was a nice little wholesome little feel-good moment at the end there with Chad, with his family and everything, So, yeah, definitely some good stuff. And, of course, like I said, it all comes full circle with the whole El Grande Americano thing. Because, Chad, he started out beefing with Penta and then he went up there, Grande Americano, yada, 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 did his thing and then came back. It's like, it's all just a lot of, you know what I'm saying? It's a full circle. It's a full circle. I fuck with it, man. But, yeah, it was a solid match. Personally, I would rate it 9 out of 10. A 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. A 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. Because I do feel like it could have went on a little bit longer. But it wasn't. It was pretty decently length though. It was a pretty decent length. It was a good length. It's not like it was short. It wasn't really short. It was a good length. That's really more of a nitpick than anything, honestly. But at the end of the day, it was a good solid match, and I definitely enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. I probably lean more towards 9, but 9 to a 9.5. Definitely good match. And the final match of the night, which was the main event tonight, was Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship. Okay, listen. This match is straight up like either a 9.5 or a straight 10 out of 10. Like, dead ass. I mean, listen, it might have started off slow. It might have started off a little slow. Like, it was like, okay, this is just an okay match. But, dude, by the time the bell rang and we hit 1, 2, 3, I'm talking like, dude, this was a really good fucking match. So far, dare I say, one of the best matches that we've had in the year. One of the best main events, definitely. Was it better than Punk versus Roman at WrestleMania 42? I almost want to say yes. Or at least just as good. And it was like, it wasn't even just the match itself. I mean, the match itself was still great, but it was also the storytelling behind it all. And, I'm a guy that didn't, like, I stopped really watching wrestling in 2015 and then didn't come back into WrestleMania 40, but I still kept tabs on the shit, I was still keeping tabs. And so, like, and of course, I still watched, like, the whole Shield breaking up and everything and all that good stuff. And it was like, it's just like, it's 12 years of build-up, really. 12 years of tension, 12 years of history between these two, and you could really feel it in that ring. Like you could feel it being like, this is the end of an era type shit. That's really how it felt, honestly. It damn near felt like it was Seth Rollins' last match. I know it wasn't, because if it was, he would have, you know what I'm saying. He would have took off the armbands or whatever the hell. But, and then at the end, after he won, and then Roman did the little shield, like, man, it was just like, it was just so, it was spectacular. I mean, honestly, it was a really good match. Fantastic storytelling. And then, not to mention character development, too, because you see Roman, he's about to hit Seth Rollins in the back with the chair, like Seth Rollins did to him all them years ago. He was about to do it, because Seth was about to do it to Roman, then Roman reversed, and then Roman came back, and he was about to do it to Seth, but then he just stopped, and he looked for a second. He looked at that shit and was like, Fuck that. He threw that shit away and said, "No, let's settle this shit like real niggas." I'm like, bro, like that is some fucking character development, bro. Like honestly, it was a really great match. Like damn, like that shit was a banger. I don't care what these niggas talking about, bro. Cause Roman ever since he won the Royal Rumble, he said he said he put in that work. That nigga was not lying, bro. He really been putting in that work. Every single main event match that he's had has felt like a real main event. Roman versus Punk, banger. Roman versus Jacob, banger. Roman versus Jacob 2, banger. Roman versus Seth, banger. Like I'm excited to see some more. You feel me? I'm excited to see more, man. Really great match. Like I said, straight up either 9.5 out of 10 or just 10 out of 10. Honestly, I really want to say 10 out of 10. Real shit. I really want to say 10 out of 10. I'm not gonna cap. It might just be a 10 out of 10 straight up. But yeah, like the whole show was good. But yeah, like I said though, it was really just a really great match, really banger of a match. Great, I mean, honestly, it was just fucking great. The whole show was great. I'll rate the whole show as a overall like 8.5 out of 10. It was a really solid show. Like I said, really the only the only match really I didn't like was Trick versus Baron Corbin. Um, I mean, I didn't even like it since its conception because the way that they went about it, like I said, 5 out of 10, and that's dead as me being nice. I don't like that match at all. I didn't like it. I didn't like it the moment it was announced. I don't even like how it played out. I don't like the result. I don't like anything about it. Dead ass, I almost want to just erase that shit from memory. We could have had so many better matches. We could have had Tiffany versus Blake. But you know what? It don't matter. Like I said, 8.5 out of 10 for the show overall because aside from Trick versus Baron, it was a really good show, and I low-key liked it more than night one. But that's going to be it for this video, though. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to like button, be sure to subscribe if you want to see more. There's going to be plenty more to come from there, plenty more reviews coming. Raw's tomorrow. I'm going to be uploading the Raw review on Tuesday. And then speaking of which, I'm probably going to be doing NXT and SmackDown as well. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to catch you guys in the next one. All right, peace out. I'm outie.